Hi everyone, I'm Angela, one of the lead recruiters here at FabFitFun, and this is our new show that's getting you in shape financially. Every Wednesday we're bringing you great info, tips, and tools to help you achieve the goal of financial wellness. Today we are diving into a very hot topic, one that most people dread. That's asking for a raise. We have our own financial guru standing by to arm you with all the info you need to perk up that paycheck. So get your questions ready because we are answering them live. This is Money Moves. Here with me is founder and CEO of Financially Wise, Inc., a financial planning company, Brittney Castro. Brittney, thank you so much for joining us.
I am so excited to be here.
So, all right, we have so many questions about finances and money, so we should just get right into it. Money and finances are confusing, very overwhelming. I'm not sure if anyone feels the same as I do, so we're very glad that you're here to help us.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. I love talking about money, and Money Moves was something I would say before there's a hit song about it.
Okay, so. We got some money moves.
Yeah,
all right.
Always.
Brittney, we have so many questions. Why are we so afraid to talk about money?
It's a really interesting question, and honestly, it's something that we can all relate to. Money is just not taught in school. Most households don't talk about money, so at some point, you wake up out of college, you're an adult, and you realize, I have no idea how to file a tax return. I don't even know how to enroll in my benefits. I gotta choose 401k investments. So it's like this subject that we just are so afraid of. I think it's just because we don't know it. And like anything, if you don't know it, it's very scary. But honestly, when you dive into just educating yourself about money, it's not that scary. And you can really become confident and empowered with your money and make the money moves you want.
All right. So that leads me to my next question is, what do you think is one of the most important skills women should have in order to excel in the workplace?
Negotiation skills. So even me, I've been a financial planner for 13 years. I've had my own company for 5.5 years, and I'm still learning how to negotiate better. You know, I constantly have to learn how to say what I want and ask for it correctly. So don't be afraid to negotiate. You know, what's really interesting, Angela, women, we negotiate all the time. Like, say for example, you and your girlfriend want to go out to lunch. You negotiate where you're going to eat, what time you're going to meet. That's a negotiation. It's just two people coming together, having a conversation, and finding some sort of mutual compromise so that you both walk away feeling good.
That makes it sound much less scarier than it is. But that leads me, takes us right to the heart of the topic, is asking for a raise. And why is it so hard?
I know, it's so hard, and it's actually something I've been talking a lot about with all of our clients and in the workshops that I do for people to help them become financially wise. So asking for a raise, I feel like, can be intimidated, again, because people don't really talk about money within their immediate circles of, you know, even partners. Like, people who've been married sometimes don't even understand how to talk about money effectively with each other. So if you are looking to ask for a raise, again, just go into it thinking, okay, I'm gonna learn some strategies about asking for a raise. I'm gonna see this as a new topic, a new area that I wanna become educated in life, and get the tools and get the training you need so that you can consistently ask for the money you deserve at your job, or if you have your own company like me, you know, increasing your fees or services year after year so that you stay relevant, that you stay on top of your income, which income, always remember, is the most important piece of financial planning, other than you, of course, because without income, you can't save. You can't pay off your student loan debts. You can't invest. You know,
you can't go to Thailand.
When you can't go to Thailand. We're talking about that. You can't take the trips you want. So really see income and money as a tool to help you. Don't be afraid from it. You know, a lot of people just stay in this fear with money, which is normal, I guess, in a way. But it doesn't have to be your normal. You can actually shift how you are with money.
Completely agree. And not only for raise negotiations or anything, but as a recruiter here at FabFitFun, these are negotiations we're having a lot of time with the offer process. So even when you get a new job. So there's just so many ways that these negotiation tips are going to be helpful for everyone listening. So getting to it, what are your negotiation tips for anyone walking in and, for in this example, asking for a raise?
So if you're asking for a raise, first do some research. I mean, I'm sure you know Comparably. There's lots of sites these days that will let you search comparable salaries based on your position, experience, and that sort of thing. So do your homework. Then get clear about what you actually want. Now, that sounds so basic, but I'm telling you, it's so strange. People will say, I want more money, and I'll say, well, how much more? And they say, more money. And I'm like, no, you need to define $10,000 more a year, $5,000, like what is the actual thing you want?
So be specific.
More benefits. Be as specific as possible. And I know there's, for women especially, because I've gone through this myself, there's something in it like, oh no, I can't ask for what I want. No, you can. You can ask for what you want, and you should, and you deserve it, and that way you can get it. Also, it's always good to consider the other party. So what I mean by that is if you're asking specifically for more money, don't go to your boss at a time when you're launching a new product or when it's tight cash flow and you know the boss is super stressed about that. You know, be aware of what's happening in the organization and set yourself up to have a conversation where there can be a dialogue that's not based on like stress. Then of course, have the conversation, and one thing there, you might want to practice it a few times, because I think sometimes too, just practicing with your friend, even practicing saying, I want $10,000 more, it helps you. It helps you because then it doesn't become so, you don't have that emotional attachment, and then you're a little bit more at ease in the actual conversation. And then finally, ask for it. And I know, again, sounds so basic.
What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that can happen? You'll get turned down and say
no. And what would you suggest, like how do you deal with overcoming the no?
Understand that no's are part of the process, so you'll probably hear a no, and that's okay. Be persistent. Take that no and say, okay, what can I do to improve the conversation next time? Maybe I didn't come prepared, or maybe it was the wrong time, or simply, they're going to say no. Like I had a woman last week, very successful in the entertainment world. She was telling me this cool story, which I think we can all relate to. She asked her boss for something specific at work. It was a benefit, not necessarily more money. He said no. She went back a week later. He said no. A week later, he said no. 3 times she was rejected. Finally, she went back a week later. He said yes. So sometimes persistence is all you need. And don't be afraid of no's. I mean, if I could tell you how many no's I've received in my own career, it would be shocking.
Same. I completely get that. All right, so let's do a little research for everyone right now. I have a set of need-to-know terms that may come up in raise negotiations. They're just words you shouldn't be familiar with as an adult, and again, these are often words that I use in offer negotiations, not just raise. So I'm going to go through them. If you would you mind helping me out?
I would love to. Hopefully I know them. I'm just kidding.
First one, employee stock options.
This one's actually very popular these days because a lot of our clients are offered stock options as part of their package. So if that's something that you see, keep in mind there's all different types of stock options, and you definitely need to talk to a professional and get, you know, solid advice. But generally a stock option is just the company offering you to purchase shares, usually at a specific price for a specific period of time.
Got it. Well, that actually brings me to my next question. What is a share?
A share, simply put, is just a piece of the pie, if you will, layman's terms. So there's a company, they offer stock. Those are called shares. So you know, you could have 10 shares in a company or 1,000 shares in a company.
So it's a piece of the pie, some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's see. Next one, vested.
Okay, so vested really just means like, for example, you might have a 401k or stock options and you're not fully vested until 3 years or 5 years of working at that company. So it's a time frame in which, you know, at the end of the time frame, you're fully vested in something. So keep this in mind, because if you are making shifts in your career and you're not fully vested, you might actually stay a little bit longer to get the money. Like, don't leave money on the table if you don't have to.
We don't want to do that. No. There's so many add-ons and edits to buy. We need the money.
We need it.
All right, last but not least, market value.
Market value, simply put, the price of the stock. So it's what the market is trading the stock at. Also, our market value is us,
as a candidate, as an employee.
Yeah, multi-meaning market value.
Exactly, like what your market value is within the industry, within the city that you're in, what you're worth, and also what you're worth if you were to leave the company, what the market value would be if maybe you didn't get a raise and wanted to go somewhere else, what that value loss would look like if you were no longer there. So that was very helpful, Brittney. Hopefully, I know I feel more well-informed. I hope you guys too. So knowing some of these vocab words is a great start, but what do you do when you're actually sitting in your boss's office and you're staring at each other, probably feeling like you're gonna throw up? Like, how do we do this?
Oh, you want to practice?
Oh,
Let's do it, right? We should do a mock interview.
All right,
I'm going to be the boss, the tough boss.
I'll be the candidate, the employee.
Okay.
Brittney, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I really appreciate it. As you know, I've been with the company for 2 years now, and I was thinking I bring a lot to the company, and I think it's time that I would like to ask for a raise.
Wonderful, Angela. Well, I'm glad you wanted to have this conversation. I do appreciate you, obviously, as an employee in our organization.
Thank you.
As you know, we're going through some structural changes. So unfortunately, I'm not sure the raise is in the cards right now, but what I could do is go talk to the executives and see when we could talk about this again in the future. And of course, I value you. So why don't we have this conversation in a little bit?
Okay. So I understand it might not be a good time now, but is there a certain time frame that you think, or maybe a few weeks, a month, or anything I can do to help get a raise?
So why don't we pause, because I think this is great. First of all, Angela, you're good.
I don't know if I got the
And
raise,
obviously
guys.
it's different depending on the scenario, right? So I have a company and this can happen too. But one thing I would say in the beginning, and I know you have tips, is right away you could have asked for a little bit more specific and said, actually, first of all, showcased your value a little bit more, like deliver your silver platter. And I think this is actually harder for women than maybe men, because we're not used to bragging and sharing the value. Like, we often will just do it, we'll do the work, and we're fine with it, but it's not bragging, it's not being arrogant, it's simply just saying, here's all that I bring, and I want to continue to bring this. So let's have that conversation. And then I think a second thing is just be clear. Like, she asked for a raise, but again, I didn't know, what does that mean? 10% more, 4% more? Is she talking a dollar amount? So the more clear you are, then the more conversation you can have and find some sort of mutual compromise.
Such great advice.
And I know you have tons of tips
Yeah, we have tons of tips, but also questions. So we're almost out of time.
Oh
Crazy.
my God.
So we want to make sure to get to some comments. So we have a great comment and question from Kristen. Thank you for watching. She asked, what do I say to my boss who keeps asking me to do more work, take on more responsibility, and when I ask if it will come with a raise, the way that it's lateral move, not a financial move. So yeah, they're given more responsibility, but it doesn't come with a raise.
This is actually very common. So I think that's where you need to get smart and figure out, how do you go and ask for the specific review and have the conversation and ask for the raise. You ask for more money, because first of all, as a boss, I mean, as an employer, of course we value the work of our people, but we're not always wanting to give them more, because that's taking profits away. So you got to see it from the other side and be aware of that. Of course they're going to want you to do more work at the same rate. But that's where you can say, you know what, I want to find some time to review, go over all of this, talk about compensation structure. And like you said, maybe there's other benefits you can negotiate.
Yeah, sometimes a raise might be on the table, might be asking for more benefit negotiations, or just asking what other negotiations there are. I think we have time for a couple more comments and questions. What's an acceptable percentage range you should ask for a raise? That comes from Carrie.
Oh, Carrie, good question. To be honest, I don't know if there's like a black and white answer,
one size fits
but
all.
I will give you a tip that I think could help. So the tip is, inflation in America is on average like 3 to 4%. So if you're not making 3 to 4% more per year, technically you're losing purchasing power of your money. And that's the same as like if you had money in a savings account and you're not getting that. So that's why we always talk about investing our money to double the rate of inflation, actually grow your money and have it work for you. So one thing I always tell my people, my clients, my community is like, look, if you're not at least getting 4% per year, there's actually right there a point worth negotiating. And you know, if you're wanting 4, of course, in negotiation, you start by asking for more than what you want, because then you can negotiate to get that happy medium.
That's such great advice. Thank you so much, Brittney, and thank you for everyone for watching and following along. Hello to Megan and Dawn. Thank you for all of your comments. But Brittney, thank you. You've been such a great wealth of knowledge, and we're just so happy that you've been here. One last question we ask everyone, what do you love most about your job?
Good question. Honestly, doing things like this. I love being able to connect with people. I think we're all in it together. Financially wise is all about like bringing it the fun and excitement back into money.
Finance can be
remembering
fun.
you're not alone. So my ability to connect with many different people all day long is actually one of the best things I like about my job.
So good to hear. Well, thank you again, Brittney, and thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned in and stick around, because it's game show time at FabFitFun Live. We're giving away some more amazing FabFitFun prizes during our brand new game show, Beauty and the Box. That's at 12:30 p.m. PST, so everyone stay tuned. Thank you again, Brittney.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.